North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta, Pennsylvania, Alabama, and Jackson, Mississippi. There has been a crazy rise in HIV diagnosis across these cities and states. And the outbreak is so bad because of hookup culture. I saw this one comment section, and it was an 18-year-old guy, and he said, it doesn't matter if anyone gets HIV because now they have medicines to
Hell no. That was crazy. That was crazy. Now we got medicine, so we don't got it. No. Sorry. That's not, that dog don't hunt. That dog don't hunt. So yes, we're going to talk about this outbreak because it's happening to multiple cities, right? But I have good news and I have bad news. I have good news and I have bad news. I'm going to let this next clip roll, and we're going to get into some bad news after this next clip.
Patient blood. So he was like, you about to stick me? I said, yeah, I'm about to draw your blood. I'm like, you want your blood ran? You want to get your testing? He was like, what you testing me for? I said, well, you got to get tested for hepatitis C, HIV, your CMP, your A1C. Your normal routine checkup. He looked at me and said, I'm good, and ran out of here.
So, bad news, right? The bad news. Apparently, I just brought to my knowledge that dudes are afraid to get tested. That is that's some bad news, man. That's bad, bro. That's horrible. That's horrible. If you were afraid to get tested, bro, you might need to do us all a favor and just be celibate. You know what I'm saying? Be celibate. Because I know if you're afraid to get tested, that means you're not wearing Trojans, which I don't know when Trojans went out of style. We all had this understanding growing up. I had a father. Maybe you didn't have a father. He explained to me the importance of having a swimsuit. The importance of having a swimsuit, right? You cannot go swimming without your swimsuit. It's necessary. It is necessary. Why is it necessary? One, you don't want no kids. Okay, you don't want to be making no kids. Two, you don't know what the other person is doing. It's just common sense. And this conversation is sad because we've gotten so far away from Trojan that it's bad. But there's hope. There is hope. I'm going to show you the hope right now so we can all feel better about the situation.
We need to make smart decisions, but we cannot afford to inflate numbers. Misinformation is one of the reasons why the Black community is the most impacted when it comes to STDs, right? We want to make sure that we're pushing out accurate information. And if we misspeak, that we hurry up and come on here and clarify, right? Because saying that Atlanta has over 19,000 new cases of HIV, inflating those numbers, that would mean if the CDC is reporting that the national rate or new cases for HIV is almost slightly like 40,000 nationally, based on 2022 numbers, they have not released new numbers for 2023. That would mean that one city has makes up for half of the national cases. That's a public health crisis. That would mean that if Atlanta has that many cases, we got to look at every city, especially your major cities. That wouldn't be something that Atlanta News would need to report on. That would mean Fox, ABC, CNN, everyone would have to report that because we have a public health crisis. Something's going on. Now, does Atlanta have a high HIV rate? Absolutely.
All right. So she said that, right? And I was like, No, the dude said, right, it was 20,000 in 8 months. And then I saw this and it broke my mind. Hold on. It broke my mind. So hold on. This is Texas. Let me get to Atlanta. All right. So this is what I did, y'all. So I typed in because I wanted to verify. I wanted to verify, bro. Because she said that, I'm like, yeah, we didn't even see if the dude was lying. So this is what I typed in, HIV cases in Atlanta, right? I went to the HIV.gov, right? And this is just showing Fulton. I'm gonna let it play out, right? So I click it, right? HIV. All right. I don't know why they were trying to give me, but this is the good news. So the numbers was bullshit. The numbers, it says 430, y'all. 430. Okay. We're gonna keep it going down, right? We're gonna keep it going. Oh my God. He made them numbers up, bro. And I'm gonna tell you how I know he made the numbers up in a second. Now, what is alarming is that 23% out of 100,000 people are, getting it, right? 23% of 100,000. That's alarming, right? And Georgia is DC is 24.5 out of 100,000 people, right? But 20,000, it doesn't exist. Now I'm gonna show you why I know that, right? Watch this. This is gonna break your mind. So if you look at the chart, it says 2022 people break this down. There is no numbers for 2024. There's no numbers for 2025. There's no numbers. If you go, listen, I'm gonna take you to Texas. We're gonna go to Texas, right? Because Texas was high, right? So I did the same thing for Texas. I went to the same website for Texas. Wait, what is it doing? Wait, hold on. This is Texas? No, this is still. Wait. Oh, my bad, y'all. My bad. All right. This is Texas. My bad. I had the other one up. All right, this is Texas. This is the state. I'm sorry about the other thing. This is the state of Texas. The state of Texas, the state itself, right? 5,000 diagnosed, right? That's the people that got looked at, right? It's only 5 in the whole state, 5,000. I mean, I'm gonna let it roll on out, right? Now, if you notice something right here, it says 5,000. Oh, so this is, if you look at the numbers, right? It says from 23 to 25, but they don't have the numbers. This is estimated. What they have right now for sure is 4,200. See what it says? 4,200. They don't even have the numbers up for 2024, bro. Like it's all cap. It's all made up. It's all made up, man. So I'm sorry about that. I had the other screen up, my bad. And we're gonna go to some publications real fast. This is a live, right? This is Atlanta publication. So it says here 603 2018. It says 552 19, 2020 470. Like it doesn't have the numbers for 2024. So how did he get the 2025 numbers, bro? Like, what is going on? Like, how does he know? He doesn't have the numbers, bro. Just made shit up. He just made it up, bro. Oh my goodness. He just made it up. So in closing, do your own research. Stop listening to random people on TikTok because they don't know what they're talking about. And always try to find out for yourself. Because that nigga spread a whole lie. Like when she said that, right? When this young lady said that right here.
People need to go and get.
When she said that, I was like, you know what? I didn't even double check. Like, I didn't double check. We just went off with them. I'm like, you know what? we're gonna check. And yeah, that dude he just made some shit up. Because if you look, there's no 2024 numbers. So if there's no numbers from last year, there's no numbers for this year. So do still wrap up, get back to the Trojans, wear your swim gear. Women, this is for y'all. I think you should broach the conversation with the men. The reason why I say this, because as a man, I don't know how we could bring up the conversation of how you got tested. I don't know how you can say that in a romantic way without offending a woman. Like, I can tell a woman while I'm wearing a condom, oh, I don't want to be a father. That's not offensive to women. But saying, hey, are you burning? Do you have, like, how would you say that? So give me some pointers of how to broach that conversation. Let's get tested together. Like, how would you make that sound not offensive to women, right? So we don't get a spread. That's how we don't get a spread. Men wear your swimwear, right? Wear them Trojans, and we got to have the conversation up front. Now, how do we have a conversation? Help me out with that. I don't know. I'm guessing the women should do it.